Okay, so the audio for yesterday's class wasn't great, but it'll be better kind of moving forward. So the room will be better, the microphone will be better. So next week it will be better, the audio. This is the syllabus for your section, and we can go over some things here. Of course, textbooks, this one is kind of straightforward. We won't have a textbook for this course. The material for this course is going to be the videos that I post on YouTube and also any notes that I post. So I need to post notes for this week. I'll do that. So someone is asking, I do want to kind of repeat the questions because when I post the videos, you're not going to see the chat window. So Ben is saying, where can we find the videos? I don't see them in Canvas. I made an announcement on Canvas, the last announcement, and you should have received an email. I think you do receive emails when I make an announcement. Did you guys see that announcement? Give me a reaction, like yes or no. Okay, so it seems now, okay, all right. Well, some of you saw the video, so I'm sure you saw the announcement. Okay, so that's where you see that's going to be a YouTube playlist, and I'll keep adding to it. So it'll be the same playlist. So every Thursday, again, this week I posted the stuff today, Friday morning, but I want to try to do it Thursday. I'll be posting kind of 1 to 2 hours of videos. I think the stuff that we covered yesterday were 1 hour and a half. It'll be more, maybe it'll be close to 2 hours, hopefully, every week. And you're supposed to, listen to that, watch that. It's just like a class. So everything that I mentioned there is going to be kind of a fair game for me to kind of ask you questions on in the quizzes or in the exams. Now, the live discussions, I do want to actually spend a little bit of time here. The first question that I have for you, any of you is on campus and using the EduRoam Wi-Fi? And if you are, can you try to access the website? Because before, a few days ago, this website wasn't actually accessible through the EduRoam Wi-Fi. So right now, anybody is on EduRoam, and anybody want to try accessing this website? Or are you all not on EduRoam? Not on campus. Anyone on campus want to try to access this website? So Logan, when you accessed it, was there a problem? Okay, so hopefully, okay. So hopefully now you can access it. For some students, it didn't work, but I'll check maybe I'll send an announcement and ask kind of all students to check. But typically what you want to do, I'm going to go to this website, and I'm going to actually share that. So what you want to do is every week you want to go to discussion poll, and you want to pick at least 2 time slots. So here, this is my account. Maybe you say at least. Now the more the better. Maybe you want to say, well, I can actually do both of those, and maybe I can do kind of both of those. And what happens is I'm going to look at that, and I'm going to see kind of all the submissions, all the votes, and I'm going to pick 2 time slots. One of them is going to be on Friday. One of them is going to be on Monday or Tuesday. For this week's material, we're doing one Friday, one Monday, but maybe I'll do Tuesday one day. And for those 2 sessions, let's say, for example, I pick this one. Do you guys see my browser? You do see my Chrome, right? Okay. So for example, let's say I pick Friday 1 p.m. and Monday, 10 a.m. Now, for the students that picked either of those, either or both, I would want you to attend them. Now, if you haven't, let's say you happen to pick, these two, and I pick maybe these two, then you're not really required to attend them for attendance. So there is attendance, and you wouldn't be required to really attend them. But if I pick the ones that you pick, then that would be kind of essentially, I would expect you to be kind of in the Zoom session. Is that clear, guys? Do you think that's good? Do you have, okay. So that's how we're gonna do it. Every week, we're gonna do that. And of course, even if you haven't picked the ones that I ended up picking, it's a good idea to kind of go to the Zoom, ask questions. It's good to be kind of live in a session, if you can, of course. So of course you don't see that. That's for a super user. So that's really the live discussions. And again, they're being recorded. They will be recorded and posted. Let me do kind of a new share. Go back to the syllabus. Okay. If you wanna meet with me, let me actually go back to the website. If you wanna meet with me, you can just go to appointments and pick one. So every weekend, so maybe today or tomorrow, I'm gonna make myself available during the week. So you don't see anything here, but over the weekend, again, maybe tonight or tomorrow, I'm gonna change some of those time slots. And what you would do, let me actually make one of them available. Let's say I'm gonna edit a point, for example, I'm gonna make, let's say I'm gonna make Monday, let's say I can meet like during this time. So what you would see is when you go to appointments, you would see this. And when you click on one of them, you would kind of click here, submit request, and I would receive an email. You would receive an email. I would have to kind of accept that request. And once I accept it, you receive an email, I receive an email, and in that email, there would be a Zoom link. So in the email that you get, there would be kind of a Zoom link that you can use for this 30-minute appointment. Is that good, guys? Give me a reaction. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Okay, all right, that's good. So Keith is asking, is it appropriate to only attend one? So yeah, I mean, again, what you should do is you want to pick two. If you can't pick two for some reason, let's say you can't do, the 8 p.m., you can't just pick two. You're just busy during all this time. Then you want to email me and let me know. Tell me, for example, my work schedule doesn't allow me, and maybe I can, next week, maybe I can change that and add some time slots where you can, kind of attend. Now, after I choose, the 2 time slots, again, you can attend 1 or 2 or neither or both. That all depends on your schedule and, of course, what you picked. So, for example, let's say Keith, for example, if you picked this one, Keith, the Monday 10 a.m., which is this one, then I do expect you to attend that session. But if you haven't picked it, then you don't have to, you don't have to attend. Of course, again, if you can, it's nice, but you wouldn't have to. Does that answer your question, Keith? Okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions about this? Any questions about this? So Dylan is saying, is there a new vote for the live session every week? Yes. So the voting really should happen from Wednesday 6 p.m. to Thursday 6 p.m. Or rather, excuse me, from Tuesday 6 p.m. to Wednesday 6 p.m. So that's in the syllabus. Let's go back to the syllabus. Okay, so the voting, it says that it closes Wednesday 6 p.m. and it opens Tuesday kind of between 5 and 6 p.m. So every Tuesday evening, you want to go to this website, you want to go to, the discussion, this discussion page, and you will see kind of new set of time slots, and you want to pick two. So of course, this one should be closed. I mean, it's still open and you can still see it because I want you to see what you picked. You may have kind of forget what you picked. So I kept it open so that when you go, you would see kind of what you picked. But you shouldn't kind of change your vote now. Right now you can, but you really shouldn't. You should kind of keep your vote. And on Tuesday, kind of next week, you would see kind of a new set of time slots. Does that answer the question, Dylan? Okay. All right, so that's good. This is the first time we meet. So if you have questions about the syllabus, we can spend, for the other section, I spent more than 50 minutes talking about the syllabus. So I want to make sure that everything's clear to you and to the rest of the students. So if you have questions, I was actually sharing my PDF and talking about the website. So hopefully it made sense. I was kind of pointing at things on the website and I was sharing my PDF. Hopefully it made sense. If you have questions, again, I do expect you to ask them. Let me see, there's a question here. While the quizzes and assignments be based on the content from the recorded lectures? Yes, so we're gonna have a quiz every week. And the quiz will have also another poll. So I'll be working on this this weekend, and there will be a poll for the quizzes, and you would pick a time that you can take the quiz, during, and the quiz will be very short. So maybe you can say, well, I'm free from 8 a.m. to 8:20, and you can say, I want to take the quiz then, and then you would go take the quiz during that time that you would select. Actually, excuse me, let me correct myself. For the quizzes, you would have to pick multiple time slots also. So similar to the kind of discussions, you would say, I can take the quiz here, I can take the quiz here, and then I would send you an email, or maybe on the website you would see kind of when I want you to take that quiz. So let me kind of, did that, guys, make sense? I can repeat myself if that didn't make a lot of sense. So it's going to be a poll, and you would kind of pick few time slots, and then I would pick one based on kind of what the other students answered, and I would say, I want you to take the quiz at this time. So Keith is asking, is the quiz poll the same as the Zoom session poll? It's going to be a different page, if that's what you're asking. But it'll be very similar in that kind of sense. So it'll be kind of very similar interface. And I would ask you to pick maybe more than two, maybe 3 or 4. And different students will have different time slots. Because let's say, for example, Keith picked the first 4. And let's say Lulu picked, those 4. So then maybe I'm going to say, for Keith, I want you to do this one. And for Lulu, I want you to do this one. So they're going to be different because, not all of you can meet at the same time. So I will share more information about that over the weekend. Okay, so Sydney is asking the material for the quizzes. What is it going to be about? Yes, so the material for each quiz in each week will be from the previous week. So the quiz that we're going to have next week is going to be based on the stuff that we covered this week. So that would be the videos and also any notes that I post. So I'll be posting kind of more notes in the future. I'll post some over the weekend, but kind of, again, moving forward, I'll be posting stuff earlier. Now, nobody asked me where the quizzes will be. And the plan was to actually do the quizzes here. So you would kind of go here, and you would click here and you would take the quiz. So the idea is once you kind of pick the time slots for the quizzes, I would say, okay, all of you guys, the time slots for each student has been picked, has been chosen. you would go to the website, and for this one, you would see the time that you should take the quiz on. So again, it'll be one of the time slots that you picked, and you would kind of just click here and you would take it, and that's it. Now, again, I do want to repeat something that I said at the beginning. Some students had problems kind of accessing the site from on campus. So I need to make sure that this is not a problem. Oh, I'm seeing, okay. Well, thanks, Ben. So you guys should have told me. I'm pointing at the website and I'm sharing the PDF. You guys should have told me. This happens a lot, actually. I'm sure it happens with other instructors too. All right, now you see the tab, right? Okay, so the idea here is if you go to quizzes, you should see kind of time, date, quiz will open. This is to be announced, and this will be different from student to student. So again, once you go to let's kind of get rid of this. Once you go to kind of not discussion poll, let's say quiz poll. So there will be a quiz poll. Once you go there, you pick 4 time slots. And then after maybe the poll closes, I will say now you can go to the quizzes section, and you will see that your quiz is going to open during one of the time slots that you picked. And you would click here, you would take it, and that's it. That's how we're going to do the quizzes. One thing that I should mention is the quizzes. The plan really is to do the quizzes on one day, the same day. So that would be maybe we can do the quizzes on Friday. So I would have, so many time slots on Friday, and you would just pick whichever time works for you on Friday. And you would say, I'm going to have from 8 a.m. to maybe 10 p.m. So you must, you should find like 20 minutes or 15 minutes. And you would, say I can do it at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. And you would, again, pick multiple time slots, and I'll assign one of them to you. The other thing that I should mention is while you're taking the quiz, I want you to have Zoom open and your camera on. So I want you to have your cameras on while you take the quizzes. So let's say, for example, so we have many students in this section. So we have maybe 70 students. And let's go back to here. Let's say, 20 students pick those 2 time slots. 20 other students pick those 2 time slots. Again, I'm going to assign some students here, some students here. And when you take the quiz and when you open Zoom, you're not going to be alone. You're going to be with kind of other students, and they all have their cameras on. And I'll be maybe, popping in and out. Maybe I'll have a TA kind of proctor, but that's how it'll be. So what do you guys think of that? Was that clear? Do you have questions? I need, this is your chance to ask questions. I can repeat myself. Just let me know what you want me to elaborate on. I'll wait, a few seconds, see if you guys have any questions. Okay, will the quizzes be open notes? Yes, the quizzes will be open notes, but you can't kind of talk to your friends. So, you can Google things, you can use your notes. You do want to, of course, study for the stuff, because it'll take time to, it'll take time for you to kind of search for things and Google things. So that you do want to kind of study for the stuff. Let me see, there are more questions. Keith, we can chat with other students on camera. No, so you can't. If that's the question, the answer is no. You can't chat. So it'll be, so the quizzes will be, you would want to kind of work on the quizzes alone. But you can use, you can use Google, but you can't kind of discuss the quiz with other students. Yes, Ben. So you will choose multiple, not too many. I'm right now I'm thinking about it, and I think maybe 2. I'll let you choose 2 or 3, and you will be assigned just one. And once you assign once you're assigned one, you want to kind of stick to that one. Will the quizzes be multiple choice? Not all of them, some of them, yes. Some of them, they're going to be kind of short answer questions. Some of them will be maybe, you know, what other types of questions there will be, maybe true, false. So it'll be a mix. All right, guys, do you have other questions? Yes, so the exam, the plan is to do same thing. So the exam, you know, should be the same. The exam is just going to be kind of a long version of quizzes, of a quiz, yeah. So the final exam is kind of comprehensive. So it'll cover everything, the final exam. But the final, the first and the second, you can see here if we go to, let's see, yeah, I am sharing my web page here. If you go to quizzes, you see that we have kind of a first, second, and final. And the first and second will not be kind of comprehensive. So they're not gonna be on everything. Of course, the first exam is gonna be on the first four, kind of say for 4 weeks, and the second one is gonna be those 4 weeks. However, some of the stuff that we cover here may use the stuff that we covered before, so it can't. So there's no kind of. So maybe it will contain or include some of the stuff that we cover at the beginning, but it'll really be on this material, and the final exam will be on everything. Okay, so nothing due this week, and we'll have a quiz on Friday. So there's nothing due in terms of assignments or quizzes this particular week, but yes, on Friday there will be a quiz, and hopefully we can use the website. I like this website. This is a website that I built. It took me maybe just a few hours to build something like this using databases, and we'll talk about, you know, how we can use databases in applications like websites or other just, you know, standalone applications. But I like it because this one is a smart website. I mean, it's a smart in the sense questions are going to be smart, meaning that you don't all necessarily see the same questions, and it's actually smarter than just randomly assigning questions. So I was talking with a colleague of mine, and we were thinking of kind of building a system that distributes questions based on the answers. So for example, let's say a student answers a question incorrectly, then maybe we can use that question to send it to another student. But if a student answers it correctly, maybe we wouldn't do that. So it's kind of it'll be kind of a smart system, and maybe we'll use that kind of algorithm to write something, maybe like a short paper for a conference. You can make things, you know, smart if you know, depending on the dynamics of kind of how things are, you know, arranged. But if this website has problems, then we'll move to Canvas. So we'll use Canvas quizzes. Okay, so hopefully this website won't, you know, it'll work and it'll be fine. You know, it's unfortunate that none of you is on campus, right, guys? None of you is on campus. No one's on campus. So none of you is on campus. So Christian, can you check the website? Can you, I'll put the link. If you want to, I can put the link. I can give you the link here. to, so that's the link. Christian, can you just see if you can access the website? There's nothing wrong with the website, but I think because of the name of it and there was a lot of traffic, maybe suddenly, I think UNCC blocked it for, but hopefully this block has been lifted. I need to kind of talk to them. But Christian, can you access the site? So you can access the site. Okay, that's good. If it says no notes, that means you can access the site. Can you go to discussion poll? Okay, so I think it's fine. I think hopefully this kind of hold or block has been lifted. Okay, so that's great. So that means hopefully we'll use the site to do that. And I like it. I think this is really the way to do it. Okay, Keith, you have a question. You have your hand raised, but maybe that was for something else. Okay. Okay. All right, that's good. All right, guys. So any other questions about kind of quizzes, exams? All right, so I'm not hearing questions. So let me go back to the syllabus. All right, so we talked about this. And let's kind of talk about this kind of required software. And then maybe we can talk about, well, I think everything should be pretty kind of straightforward and clear. We know what attendance, is attendance clear, guys? It's clear what you need to do here. If you go to the attendance section, actually the attendance section is here. Please read that. You know, it's really what I explained. So here I say that you have to pick 3 time slots, but I changed that to 2. So you just need to pick 2 every week. And if you choose any of those, 2 time slots, and if they happen to be the ones that I pick, you want to attend them. If you do that, you get full participation. If you don't pick 2, then you lose the participation for that week. So you want to make sure that every week you want to pick 2. Now, if you haven't done that, well, I'm sure you've done that. Not actually, maybe all of you. If you haven't done that for the first week, that's okay. But moving forward, you do want to make sure that you pick at least 2. And if you can't, you want to send me an email. And the rest is kind of hopefully pretty kind of obvious. All right, let's see. So let's talk about this software. How do I take attendance in Zoom? Okay, so that's a good question. Kiarash is asking, how do you take attendance in Zoom? I don't take attendance in Zoom. I actually go to the Zoom website and I can print a report that shows all the students that attended. And it not only shows, the students, it shows how many minutes they attended from the session. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using the number of minutes. So if some students, for example, attend half, the session, then they get half the credit. And of course, I do want you to be in the Zoom. For example, if I notice that, for example, one student is not giving me any reaction, I may ask, for example, I may say, Jose, give me a reaction. And if I don't get a reaction from Jose, then Jose would be marked as absent, for example. That means, for example, maybe but Jose, of course, is here. I know. Actually, Jose maybe he's one of the few that has his camera on. So clearly he's here. But for example, maybe there's another student that, maybe Dylan. Well, Dylan also kind of participated, but I'll do some of that, from time to time. If I notice that one student is not with us, I may kind of say, give us a reaction. All right. Is that good, Kirash? Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So let's talk about the required software. So this course is about databases, and it's not about any type of databases. It's about relational databases. So it used to be the case that when someone says databases, it's relational databases. It used to be the case, maybe 20 years ago or maybe 15 years ago, that relational databases are the kind of the really popular ones, the ones that are used, and there's no other thing. Now there's a lot of different types of databases. There is kind of something called NoSQL. There is graphical databases. There is kind of document-based databases. There's like dictionary-based, like key-value-based databases. There's column-based databases. There's a lot of different databases, and that's because we have a lot of different data, different types of data. And for some types, it makes sense to kind of use some other types of databases. But in this course, we're gonna learn about relational databases, and relational databases are tables. So whenever you hear relational databases, essentially that's tables. Not just one table, many tables, and they're connected through relations. That's why it's called relational. And of course, we need to write code to build those tables, to kind of modify the structure of those tables. And we need to write code to populate those tables with data. So we need to kind of course, create those tables, manipulate those tables, and we need to do that through a piece of software. Now, the piece of software that I use is called PyCharm. Have you guys used PyCharm? Let me get some kind of reactions from you. Anybody used PyCharm? So Christian said yes, maybe a lot. Ben, I haven't. Some people did. I can see from the reactions, some did, some didn't, and that's okay. Is it for Mac? Keith is asking. No, PyCharm is for both. You can actually have it on Windows or on Mac. Maybe you've used IntelliJ. Have you guys used IntelliJ? Yeah, it seems that you used IntelliJ too. So IntelliJ is another kind of IDE for Java, and it's made by the same company. So the company is called JetBrains, and they make IDEs. They make kind of software that you can use to write code. And I can see some of you have used NetBeans. There's Eclipse. There's many really different IDEs, but PyCharm is for Python. However, if you get the professional version of PyCharm, you can also access the database and you can write SQL. You can write kind of database language. So one student saying kind of NetBeans is rough. I didn't like NetBeans. I think NetBeans is old and I used it in the past, but I maybe want to agree with Sydney that I didn't really like NetBeans very much. I'm using Python for a separate class. Okay, for that, you can use PyCharm. I'm not sure which one you're using, Keith, but you can use PyCharm for Python. So what you would want to do, if you click on that link, it'll actually open. Let me kind of share that with you. And I do want to post kind of a short video that I did with the other section. And essentially you want to get, of course, if you have a Mac, you want to get the DMG kind of extension. But if you're Windows, you want to get this one. The thing that you want to know is you should get the professional. It has to be the professional. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to access the databases. So you want to get the professional, and you will get 30 days for free. And anytime within those 30 days, you want to apply for a student license, and they will give you 1 year for free. So every time you kind of apply, they renew your license. So it's free for you. You don't have to do the student's license now because they give you, again, 30 days. But you do want to get the professional. The community is not going to be enough. You want the professional. So let me go back. Is that good, guys? Do you have any questions about PyCharm? So again, PyCharm is, if you click here, this is JetBrains. and they have different IDEs. So if you click here, you can see they have CLine for C, DataGrip for databases, but I really didn't like DataGrip that much. PyCharm for Python, IntelliJ for Java, PHP Storm for PHP, and you have kind of other ones. AppCode is for this one is the equivalent of Xcode, Xcode, which is the kind of the Mac IDE. You can do probably kind of iPhone apps here, iPhone apps or watchOS apps. Okay, guys, do you have any questions about any of that? We can go back to the syllabus. I don't think we have too many other things to talk about in the syllabus, but let's go back to the syllabus.
I'll just mention that to get the student key, you need to create an account with JetBeans, I think.
I see. So maybe you have to do that. Stefan is saying you probably would want to create an account. And actually, maybe that's the better way of doing it anyway, instead of kind of getting a file that you upload as a license. Maybe if you create an account, you can log in with your account, right, to Stefan? That's what you do.
Yeah, I created an account, and then there's an option to then attach it to a UNC email or a college email, and that will give you the key once you do that. That's how I did it.
And I mean, do you do that on the website or when you download?
Yeah, so the little person on the top, that allows you to create an account.
Okay.
And then you sign up.
Perfect. I actually do have an account. I didn't know that we have to, but that's good. I like it that way, actually. So that's good. So thanks, Stefan. Let's see. Ben is asking a question. Do we need to know Python for this course? So that's a very good question. The answer is no, but we're going to learn it. So that's not why you need PyCharm. So PyCharm, we're going to use PyCharm for the databases, at least at the beginning. But then we're going to learn something. Let me go back to the syllabus. We're going to learn something called object relational mapper. Let me see. Yeah, so Ben is asking, it's okay if you haven't used Python. We're going to learn Python together, and we're not going to, this is not a course about Python, so we're going to spend maybe every week 10 minutes learning a little bit of Python, and that'll be enough for you. So object relational mapper is something that's really cool that I can talk about now, but I think it would be better if I explain later. Essentially, it's a way to use a language like Java or Python to access and interact with the database. And you do that through Java or through Python. So essentially, you're not really writing database language and executing it in Java or Python. You're actually writing Java or Python language that behind the scenes will be kind of translated to database language, which is called SQL, and then it'll be executed. So that way, it's actually much cleaner to write code. And because the database language, which is called SQL, can get very hairy. And we're going to learn that. We have to learn that. That's part of the course. But we also have to learn how to do things, in a convenient way too. And of course, we have to learn what people do in the industry. And people do use object relational mappers. Nowadays, they use them a lot. And we're going to use a Python object relational mapper called Django. Django is a web framework, so you can build websites with Python, but it has a really nice object relational mapper. So we're going to have to do, some of that. So that answers hopefully Ben's question. Okay, so all right. Do you guys have any other questions about anything, the syllabus or anything that we talked about? Okay, all right, guys. So I think you see the problem right now is that we don't have too much time to kind of review the stuff, and that's not really a problem because I think doing what we did today was very useful, and it'll be shared with everyone. So it's necessary for you to understand, the logistics of the course. So I'm glad that we did that. I'm glad that you had questions. I'm glad that we, did all of this. So we're gonna have one on Monday. We're gonna have another kind of discussion session on Monday. And typically on those discussion sessions, we would kind of review some of the stuff that we covered. Maybe you'll have questions. Maybe you want to do practice questions on something. And because of that, you want to try to attend them. They'll be recorded. Maybe we can code together. Maybe, again, it'll be kind of just a discussion. Hopefully, I'm not going to cover anything new. It'll be just kind of practice, a way for me to kind of interact with you since this is kind of an asynchronous course. It's nice to kind of do those kind of discussion sessions. Let me see. Keith is asking, would you mind sending out reminders for the sessions? Okay, we can do that. We can do that. I can automate that, but it'll be much better to automate it on the course website. So as long as you're signed up, and I'm sure that you're all signed up, maybe you'll receive an email from the course website. So maybe that'll be it'll be easier to automate as opposed to using Canvas. But we'll see. We'll do that. We can do that. Is that good, guys? Do you have any questions? Any last minute questions? All right, guys. So thanks for attending. Hopefully I'll see you on Monday at 10 a.m. and have a good weekend, and we will talk soon.